2 of main deck. David is also playing 4 Knight of the Reliquary main deck in his Zoo deck. The other creatures being Grim Lavamancer, Tarmogoyf, and Thalia. And he's also got a suite of burn spells, Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, with Path to Exiles instead of Swords, as of course you want to deal the most damage.
Exactly.
And 2 main deck Umezawa's Jite.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty classic Zoo. It looks like just the top end is Knight of the Reliquary. It's the most expensive spell in the deck, I think.
Looks like Todd is going to be on the play here. Savannah into Mother of Runes, very critical in the Zoo matchup should it survive. This is a matchup I'm used to, as opposed to last round. I was talking about the Esper Stoneblade versus Maverick matchup, which I'm not as used to because they play Lingering Souls, and I haven't really played against that card at all. This matchup, however, since Zoo is a deck from 9 months ago, I'm used to.
You remember that one.
And there's Taiga Lightning Bolt. Todd Anderson's probably having flashbacks of a year ago now.
So keeping the board clear, David Price passes the turn to Todd. Todd goes Misty Rainforest, immediately cracks it, and
Todd's got a little bit of more spice in his deck than did Ravitz last round. He has a 1 of Garruk Relentless, which I'm a big fan of. I think the Garruk Relentless is very, very good in several matchups, including against Stoneblade. It can be good against Zoo. Usually just is a 2-for-1 because it kills a 2/3 and then dies immediately. There's a Wild Mikado from David with a fetch land up. David does not have the Loam Lion package, basically, is what I'll call it.
Loam Lion, those kind of...
Yeah, he does not have Curd Ape, he does not have Loam Lion.
There's Loam Lion.
I'm sorry, he does not have Step Links.
That's where you were.
Sorry.
Okay.
The other cat that I was looking for in the deck was Step Links. There's a slightly different build of this deck. This deck has 9 fetch lands. I believe that the Step Links variant has 12 or 13.
It would make sense, yeah.
There's another mother.
Todd.
The mother from another mother for Todd Anderson, as well as an Umezawa's Jite after Sylvan Library on turn 2.
And we saw last match how good Sylvan Library can be in a Maverick deck.
Not going to be quite so good here, as he can't be quite so cavalier. Can't be quite so Maverick with his life total.
His life total, yeah.
Lightning Bolt, number 2 on Mother of Runes, number 2. So that's going to be a theme, I guess.
David Price kills 2 mothers with lightning bolts. A pair of bolts for a pair of mothers.
Yep.
And his cat is fat.
Is full size now. Yeah. That's the original Wild Mikado, not the blue one that has flying.
Right.
This is the Pat Cox Wild Mikado.
Yeah.
Caracas gets Wasteland, Legend Ruled, etc.
Yep.
David has 1 main deck Caracas and 1 main deck Wasteland.
And there's a Loam Lion from David Price.
There is the Loam Lion.
So keeping the board clear on the other side and just bringing the beats. That's the plan for the Zoo deck.
That's what the Zoo deck wants to do. So I noticed that David does not have Lightning Helix.
Green Sun Zenith for Noble Hierarch from Todd.
Must be stuck on mana because missed his 3rd land drop. That's a problem. Although David has slightly fewer burn spells than most Zoo decks, I've noticed. Most Zoo decks tend to hedge towards the burn, I've noticed, and even playing Price of Progress in some cases.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that.
This one not even running Lightning Helix. Just Bolt and
Bolt,
Chain.
Lightning, yeah.
And he has Path, but
not burn.
Pathing a Noble Hierarch is not exactly a winning proposition here.
Yeah. I mean, it gets in some more damage that you may not have gotten in, but that's only when Todd's in a position where he's chumping with it, which he's not here. So he just takes the beats, and Tarmogoyf comes down to...
So land, creature, instant. Just a little 3/4.
Yeah.
Not a ton of stuff on top.
So Todd, unable to find land there, and Knight of the Reliquary.
Knight is a 4/4.
Yeah.
Todd going to drop in down to like 5 here, assuming this doesn't get pathed.
Yeah, if Dave has the path, he wants to hold those for the big guys, you know, the Knights, the Goyfs.
David has 8 power, it looks like, on the board. 3/4 Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, and there's the path to exile on the Knight of the Reliquary.
So Todd is going to go to 3. on these attacks.
Lucky for Todd, he does get a land out of
He
this.
does get a land out of the deal, which, I mean, at that point, though, he's so far behind. Although David is burn light. And Todd does have a GT on the board, so should he be able to have a creature survive, he can theoretically gain some more life.
So everybody in, says David
Todd
Price.
to 3. And
Wild
another
Mercado.
Cats. This looks fairly unsalvageable for Todd. That missed land drop was a big problem.
And takes a look at the top few cards and scoops them up. Nothing there.
That's the end.
Zoo takes game 1.
Yep. Even with Maverick on the play, Maverick tends to be a favorite over Zoo, just like Doran used to be a favorite over the quicker aggro decks in Old Extended, just because it's a turn slower but a full turn bigger.
Right.
But David, of course, has Knights of his own, so that's not exactly true, as opposed to Goblin Guides and the more burn-oriented Zoo
Yeah,
decks.
I mean, you wouldn't say he's big Zoo, really, but he's kind of medium-sized
Zoo.
Yeah.
Slightly larger. He's not Child's large Zoo, which would be the Goblin Guide variant.
Child's large.
We're at least in the adult section of the
adult small
of the warehouse.
Adult
yeah,
extra small maybe.
Adult small, I think
Adult
is
small.
about right. So looking at the sideboards here, David has access to not a whole lot against Maverick. It looks like he's fairly confident in his Maverick matchup. He does have Ancient Grudge if he's really afraid of the GT. But the remainder of his sideboard is Red Elemental Blast, Choke, Tormod's Crypt, Grafdigger's Cage, Bojuka Bog, and Jotun Grunt. So it looks like maybe Ancient Grudge, probably not. Certainly Bojuka Bog. And maybe Jotun Grunt, just because it's a 4/4 and it's
Right,
enormous.
it's a big dude, yeah.
And Maverick does tend to have a lot of cards in its graveyard because of Knight. On Todd's side of the board, Todd, by the way, has the Fauna Shaman package, which we were going to get to, but we sort of got sidetracked.
No, we were watching the game.
Yeah, we were watching. There's a game happening.
Yeah.
What do you want from? No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. You started talking about Garrick Relentless,
and then I got off track. But he does have the Fauna Shaman, which is fairly important for his sideboard, as it contains a ton of one-ofs. So Todd is going to certainly be bringing in this Maze of If.
Yeah.
Path to Exile. Probably Gideon Juro.
I was going to say Gideon looks like a nice bring.
If he can get to 5, that's certainly coming in. Spike Feeder, almost certainly coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Much better against the aggressive deck. Well, against Zoo, actually, Kitchen Fix is better, but against Burn, Spike Feeder is much better. Todd also has access to Phyrexian Metamorph, probably not.
Yeah.
Dauntless Escort, probably not.
Not a lot of Wrath happening. You know, that's where Escort shines.
And he's got access to Harmonic Sliver, Linvala, and Fairy Macabre, and the Sworn Cannons, which are also not coming in. So, and both players likely taking out their Thalias. Although Todd may not, because most Zoo decks are much more reliant on spells than is David's. David's deck has 25 creatures in it, and usually Zoo goes for the 19-20-21 split.
Yeah, so if Todd is figuring David Price has classic Zoo, he may actually
some
of the Thalias in, maybe.
Yeah, because Thalia's a lot better against Goblin Guy, and we didn't see Knight of the Reliquary out of David. So if Todd puts him on that version of Zoo, then Thalia's first strike 2 power is much better than what it is currently, which is absolutely nothing in David's deck. So yeah, Thalia's real bad against David's deck, but Todd may not know that.
It makes the lightning bolts into, what is it, Searing Spear? Right?
Yeah.
Incinerate is what I would normally have said there, but Mike reminded me that it's Searing Spear.
It is Searing Spear now, that's
Spear,
right.
not Spear. So, and that can make a difference with a deck that runs on few lands in a situation where he may need to do, cast 2 spells where he normally... or where he normally would cast 2 spells, he is unable to cast both of them.
Todd, by the way, main decking 3 Scavenging Ooze, very important in this matchup, not only to stay alive, but to outclass opposing Tarmogoyfs. So Todd is going to lead off with Mother Runes yet again, very important for the Maverick player in any aggressive red-based matchup, be it Zoo or Rug or Burn or Blue-Red Delver, any of those matchups.
she sticks around for a turn. Once she gets online, it's
Mother of Runes really.
trouble.
A lot of people point to Night of the Reliquary Wasteland as being the reason to play Maverick. I honestly think it's Mother of Runes and Thalia, because you want those cards against the combo decks, which up until recently have been much more numerous than they are.
Yeah. Seems like lately people want to attack a lot.
They want to play fair.
Merfolk, yeah.
Why are you playing fair? You can
This is
play
Legacy.
Gristlebrand on turn 2. You can play
Right.
Emrakul on turn 2. What are you doing?
I don't know what people are doing.
1/1s for 1. From Urza's Legacy. There's a Chain Lightning.
So, Mother of Runes
Dies a fiery death yet again.
handled again, yeah. Lightning apparently strikes not twice, but three times.
Various types of lightning, though.
Yes.
You know, that's a myth that lightning doesn't strike the same place twice.
Yeah.
The Empire State Building gets hit by lightning like 60 times a year.
Yeah, I think I've heard that.
Something ridiculous like that. And I'm
Solid
sure
Pride Mage from Todd.
sure that various things have the same creature has been hit by different types of lightning over the course of this tournament.
Absolutely.
Upwards of dozens of times. I'm sure more than one Lord of Atlantis has been lightning helixed or lightning bolted.
Lightning
today.
bolted, yeah. Master of the Pearl Trident.
Both of these decks, by the way, very good against Maverick, and Maverick was very. Or,
You mean Merfolk,
Merfolk,
right?
sorry. But oh, geez, double Lavamancer from David Price.
Those Lavamancers are anti. They're trying to get out of the sleeves up at the top.
I see that. Lavamancer not as good against Maverick for several reasons. First of all, because it shuts down your Tarmogoyfs. And mostly because Night of the Reliquary is enormous.
Right, the guys you really want to handle. He did bring in the
Dauntless
Escort.
Escort.
Interesting.
So we're gonna have to read
Just a
Dauntless
one-of.
Escort.
It's
You may have to
basically
read Dauntless Escort
it's
as well.
sacrificing your creatures are indestructible.
That's right. It's a
pretty
rare
much it,
from
yeah.
Alara. I believe it's from Shards.
I
could
think
be
it's
wrong.
from Alara Reborn.
Is it from Reborn?
We're gonna find
Colorless
out.
green-white for a 3/3 Rhino Soldier.
Alara Reborn. Yeah. Sacrifice it. Creatures you control are
Sacrifice
indestructible.
Dauntless Escort. Creatures you control become indestructible until end of turn. Also, it's just a Noble Panther. It's just a 3/3 for colorless green-white. You know.
Yeah.
Although Noble Panther could also gain first strike. Now that I think about it, but man,
I'll just bolt it.
so many things.
Sacrifice it. Make my guys indestructible.
Yep.
Sure.
That's got to be what's happening here.
And looks like
We're gonna shoot this Pride Mage.
was that I guess in response to that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it looked like to me.
So David Price able to burn away Todd's side of the board entirely.
Yeah, but he used a lot of resources to do it. I don't love David's position here, even though he is. There we go. I like it slightly
Right, so-
better now.
yeah,
Now that
well, he
got
needs to have some more pressure,
Yeah,
yeah.
he needs more pressure is the main thing. He needed a Wild Mikado. Lone
Lone
Line's
Lion,
pretty weak, but
Yeah. It's something. though.
although Todd only has Scavenging Ooze in hand. Although Scavenging Ooze is going to be real good if it survives. We're going to play Noble Hierarch first, though, because Todd has another land in hand, so he's going to be able to untap next turn, play Scavenging Ooze with 3 lands up, and make it a 5/5, which is going to be very good.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for David to deal with if he does not
If he
have
does not
access
have
to
Path,
Yeah.
it looks like David has 2 lands among his cards in hand.
Plays one of them.
Have not seen there's the last one. That's a Knight of the Reliquary.
Now,
Jeez.
that is, I believe, just a 2/2 knight, because I don't
Nope,
think
that's
that's his. Is that his graveyard or is that his exiled zone?
I believe that is his remaining graveyard because
Okay.
it doesn't have one of the Lightning Helixes in it.
oh, okay, so it must be
I think
off
the
camera.
remove from game zone is off camera.
So then it's a 4/4. Okay,
the
much
exile
better.
zone. Yeah, significantly better. Although, keep in mind that Scavenging Ooze can target cards in graveyards, not
Right.
just creature cards in graveyards.
Exactly.
Cards in graveyards can... Well, that's interesting. So we're going to throw another creature into the graveyard for Scavenging Ooze to be able to gobble up and scavenge.
And Knight shrinks because
Knight Shrinks
David
goes
is-
down to a 3/3. So this Ooze is still going to be able to be a 5/5 here. Ooh, Maze of
Maze
It.
of It. Timely.
I think that he's still probably going to play the mana producing land first to be able to get more value out of his Ooze. This is the decision that Todd is pondering here. David, of course, has 1 dual land remaining in his hand as his last card, with Todd still at 17. This is why the double Grim Lavamancer looks good. It's like, oh, you can take down literally everything.
Yeah.
But it comes at a cost, and that cost is making your knight smaller, making
your
Tarmogoyf
Goyf stronger, smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, not great synergy. But usually your opponent's life total is at like 5 by that point, so that synergy just doesn't matter.
Yeah, David actually just doesn't have the kind of pressure that he normally would want.
There's Scavenging Ooze. Scavenging Ooze, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Scavenging Ooze, have you ever seen a more Golgari-themed card that
seriously.
wasn't in Ravnica?
I feel like it's such a great card. Like,
It's so
is it too
good.
strong for Standard?
I think it might be too strong for Modern, and that's why I think that it's probably it may be, not probably, maybe in Is It vs. Golgari? Have they previewed those deck lists yet?
They have not, I don't believe. That would
That's
be
a
interesting.
Bojuka Bog, isn't it?
I believe so.
Woof.
David Price may have just top decked Bojuka Bog.
So not great. Still 2 lands in hand for the Zoo player. Many lands produced this game. Especially since he may have wanted to knight for that Bojuka Bog later.
So yeah, unable to.
Although he does, David Price does have 3 Horizon Canopies. So should he want to try and draw into an elimination spell of some kind, be it Bolt, Path, Chain, even Jite.
Is there a way David Price can use the knight to fetch a fetch land? Well, it's past now, but while Todd was tapped out, and that. So that's a 5/5 ooze, right?
Yes.
Never mind, it's pointless.
Yeah, it was a 5/5. That's why
I saw the 3 and thought it was a 3/3, and then
Todd saw the
never
multiple.
mind.
Todd's going to play his 1 of Path to X. Or no, he has 2 of. Sorry, 1 main deck, 1 sideboard. In response, Knight is going to get rid of this plateau. Presumably searching up a Horizon Canopy, I would think, considering how mana flooded David is.
Yeah, may as well dig a little into the deck.
So I think that there's a decent chance Scavenging Ooze could be in
Is It
vs.
Golgari?
Golgari.
I like
for
that
a couple
theory.
reasons. It's highly played in Legacy, and it was not a large print run.
Yeah, it's like a $40 card.
Yeah, and it was up to like 80 at one point.
Oh my gosh.
When the
I
deck
had
first
no
started
idea,
getting
yeah.
real popular, and no one had opened the boxes yet,
Mm-hmm.
and no one was trading them away because they had just come out. And so I think that there's a high likelihood that it could either be in that, possibly returning in Return to Ravnica, but I would doubt it. That card's just going to be way too good for Standard. Not for Standard, but more so for Modern.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean,
it
why
may
not
not
shake
be.
things up? Why
Yeah,
not?
sure.
You know?
We've banned other things before.
That's true too.
It's
So,
Modern. We ban all the things.
There was the Horizon Canopy you mentioned. He drew a
Yep.
card and then he burned away the Noble Hierarch.
Yeah.
Which Todd is going to
gain a
use
life
for some ooze fuel.
Yeah. Who's laughing now? I think I used that pun last round also, but I
It's
really
so
like it a lot.
easy, you know.
Ooze the man.
Ooze the boss.
Ooze the boss.
Tony Maselli, obviously.
You will ooze. So we're going to go on the offensive now. Scavenging Ooze. Maze of it from
Maze of It,
Todd. Man, and with no cards in his graveyard, these are now vanilla 1/1s and a vanilla 2/3. Well, not vanilla, but a 2/3. And a couple of Mon's Goblin Raiders.
Yeah.
We now have Kazali
Kazali
Pride
Pride
Mage. Exalted, not too good when your opponent has a Mazevith. We're going to swing in with our tiny team. Todd's going to go to 15.
Maze is the Loam Lion.
Yep.
Todd very aware of the cameras.
Thank you, Todd.
Move those Lavamancers.
That's right. Move them
On to the,
inside our brackets there for us. Now this ooze, like I said during the break, is just is so critical if it can survive and not get burned out while it's still itty bitty.
Or just pathed.
Or pathed, right. And yeah, it's gonna rumble in. This is a big ooze.
It is a big ooze. It's what is it, a 6/6 right now. Lucky for David, there is no more creature fuel for it at the moment.
Interesting that Todd decided to wasteland there. I'm not exactly sure why he did that. He put he immediately removed the card after wasteland.
Oh yeah,
it, so
wasteland,
never
then
mind.
remove it. No chance for the Lavamancers to use it as fuel.
Yep. Yeah, David's at 2 here.
So now this time David playing around. He's got a fetch land there.
Yep, he's got a fetch land. He's also kept one Grim Lavamancer on tap just in case Todd decided not to activate Maze. So he's got.
Yeah, he also just needs to block the ooze.
Yeah.
He's got the loan line available too. But if Todd
that's
didn't
why
use the maze,
if
that's
he
what
had
you're-
used
yeah.
the Maze, then
Right. I get you. We were both trying to say the same thing, I think.
he's going to chomp that thing at the bit, but in response, haha. Nope, never mind. So, Arid Mace is going to get removed. We're going to keep that Grim Lavamancer in there for a little bit. Interesting that he decided not to remove the Grim Lavamancer right away.
I think I think he did both. He targeted
do
the
both?
Lavamancer in response.
There we go. I see.
David activated the Arid Mace,
he
and
hadn't
Todd
moved
said,
up
in
the
response,
counters.
I'm removing your Arid Mace.
He hadn't he hadn't put the counters on it yet.
Right,
so
because
I
it
was
hadn't
very
resolved.
confused.
Yeah, that's it wasn't
Path
clear.
to
Yeah.
exile.
There's a path.
Oof.
So Todd loses the big dude.
Yep.
The
he's
Hulk
just,
on that side of
Just
the board.
gonna get a basic land.
And David
Now-
needs like Baneslayer Angel or something.
Yeah. Well, David has some guys. He's got Ancient Grudge in hand. So he did bring in the Ancient Grudge because he saw GTA Game 1. Todd's going to take 3 and go to 10. But Todd has so many better top decks. Like, Todd could literally top deck any
Big dude to get in the way, really.
big dude, or he could top deck Green Sun Zenith, Path to Exile, Swords, really, Garrick, Knight of the Reliquary, Scavenging Ooze. Theoretically, even Mother of Runes, I guess, could like put enough of the brakes on. Not to mention the things that are in his sideboard. There's a Swords.
And Swords of Plowshares from Todd. Takes out the Kasali Pride Mage.
So Todd now down to a 1 damage a turn clock, thanks to Maze of Ith.
David Price, I believe, up to 3 now, yeah. From that Swords.
Don't be fooled, that is not a 5/5 token on Todd's side of the board. That is just an erroneous dice. Erroneous die. There's Green Sun for 3. I'll give you 2 guesses. First one doesn't count.
Well, I can't say Knight of the Reliquary twice.
I mean, you can.
Okay,
The
that's
first one
what I-
doesn't count.
Oh, okay. Well, then
It's Knight of the
first
Reliquary,
one, Emrakul.
Good
it's
thing
not-
that one doesn't count because
Oh, it's not the game.
thought he might have sided all of his knights out, but he didn't. There it
Wonder
is.
why.
Wonder why. That's a tough one. David
Knight
did
of the
not
Reliquary.
find Bonfire of the Damned. Since Todd's knight is only a 3/3 because of the Bojuka Bog from earlier. There's a
Kasali
Kazali
Pride
Pride Mage. Pat Cox's favorite creature type, after I interviewed him today,
Yeah?
said the best creature type in Legacy is cat.
I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, coming from Pat Cox.
I had some
that
pretty
is.
good answers to that. I thought I was going to get just mono merfolk as the
Yeah.
answer. Most everyone picked goblins or merfolk, but
Okay.
there were almost as many humans.
Yep, that makes sense.
There was a
too.
wizards, and then of course there was the cats.
I like it.
Yeah, so quite the and there was an elves also.
I would have said Planeswalker, I think.
That's not a creature type. Get out of here. And there are more cats in David's deck than there are planeswalkers.
That's true.
There are more cats in Todd's deck than there are planeswalkers.
That's true.
It's 2-1 from Todd's deck. So David found a Wild Nacatl, also a cat. All 3 cats of varying types in play. Todd is going to search his library for Horizon Canopy. David was still unable to attack there as he was facing down Knight of the Reliquary and Maze of Ith. I miss Zoo. Zoo's a good part of the metagame.
Yeah, it's
I'm a big
been
fan.
a while, it feels like.
Yeah, it's been a couple months. Well, there was a while there where, show and tell.
Yeah.
First of all, Maverick picked up in popularity because it was better against the Stormish combo decks, like be they multiple spell and a turn combo decks, Belcher, Ant, Tess, etc. And Maverick outclassed Zoo at the time.
Yeah.
Then Reanimator and Show and Tell picked up in popularity, and Zoo just had no shot against the top like 4 decks in the field. So it was just really harsh. And now Merfolk's picking back up in popularity.
And
there's
Zoo
less
is around
Bristlebrand.
to kind of prey on Merfolk a little bit. Meantime, Todd has green sunned up another knight, used the first knight to grab a wasteland.
Drawing a wasteland for the turn.
Yeah, so just start to wreck David's mana base.
Yep. Although David
is
still mana flooded. Yeah. So it doesn't even matter. But he's going to grow up these knights to superhuman sizes. Knight of the Reliquary, Brian Kibler's favorite Magic card.
Certainly is. Elspeth is
Are these
another
attacking?
one, I think.
Elspeth is his second favorite Magic card.
And I think Elspeth is kind of a Knight of the Reliquary. If you look at what she's wearing in the Knight
She's
Errant.
a Knight Errant, yep.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, Shard's Block was real good for this deck.
Oh, yeah.
Not only getting getting Knight and Elspeth, but so we did the Maze of Ith trick with the first Knight.
Untap the Knight so that it was vigilant.
They need to fix that in the rules. That's so annoying.
Yeah, it really kind of doesn't seem like it should work.
It shouldn't. So not only Knight of the Reliquary, but also Noble Hierarch, also Path to Exile, and in this deck, also Dauntless Escort.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about a few minutes ago. So
there goes another Savannah.
David able to add a Tarmogoyf to the board.
Yeah, he's finding something at least, putting up a fight. That's the good thing about Zoo is it's got redundancy. All the things do similar things. Tarmogoyf, after all, is just a big loam lion.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just a loam lion that's gotten too big for his britches. It's just a 3/4, right? Creature, land, instant? Because there's no more chain lightning in there?
Yeah, I think you're right. Obviously, Green Sun's all resolved.
Yep. So it's just a Simian Grunts over there.
Shuffled back.
There's a basic forest for Todd to be able to sacrifice away later, should he so choose. David at 3.
Swords to Plowshares on the Grim Lavamancer, says Todd Anderson.
Damage. So he has to search up his land and go down to 2 to be able to activate the Lavamancer, which will put Todd to 6, but without Price of Progress in his deck, it's not going to matter. Price of Progress would draw the game here anyway.
I don't know what Dave can do here at this point.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it out.
Lavamancer. Shoot Todd down to 6.
Yeah, with Todd at 6, he would need to draw 2 cards, unless he has a burn spell in his hand that I didn't see. He's got Ancient Grudge still in his hand. Todd with a basic forest. There's another cat for David Price, and that's it.
And we're going to go to game 3 here between Todd Anderson with his Maverick deck and David Price with his Zoo deck in the final round of the Legacy portion of the StarCityGames.com Open Series here in DC. So, DC seems like a good city for the Open Series.
Oh, DC is fantastic for the Open Series. So the Standard Open was the second largest ever.
Oh, was it the second largest?
I believe.
I know the largest was 693.
Right? Yeah, the second largest, the first largest was 693.
And that was here, yeah, in DC. Yeah.
In 2011?
Yes, last February. Right?
It was February?
It was last February. Jerry T won with what was like Callblade as a newish deck. It was like it had won the Pro Tour, and people were like, oh, wow, this is the next big deck. Jerry comes, and I believe he had like Cunning Spark Mage in there. He had added red, and he won that. And I believe Dan Signorini won with Bug in the Legacy portion.
I see.
From what I remember. I think that was my second event doing SCG Live.
Oh, nice.
So that was a fun one.
Dan Signorini is on 15 points, by the way, for those of you that want to know. He's currently at 5-3. Is that what that is? So he's probably fighting for a money finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had the second largest, I believe it was the second largest Standard Open ever, and we blew the old record out of the water
for
with
Legacy?
The Legacy.
I didn't even
Open.
know. I didn't realize like it was a record.
Old record was 323.
Oh wow!
Today
so
we had 350.
Beat that by 27 players. That's awesome.
So nice big uptick, and we even probably could have had more. Today was game day for a lot of people around the country. Just so happened that this week we were in Washington, D.C., and we're still able to put up good numbers, but had it not been game day, because it's summer break and a lot of the students get to take the weekends off, because it's not a holiday weekend, there were a lot of people who were able to come in from all around, D.C., of course, being a very good people.
I like it.
Yeah. And there was also a silver PTQ this weekend.
Oh,
yeah. So during the standard portion, Todd, for example, was not here yesterday.
Right.
Melissa DeTora was not here yesterday, and she was today.
Yeah, I did see her. She just drafts, though, usually.
Usually.
Yeah.
I believe she was in the tournament. Was she in the tournament today?
I don't know. I didn't think I saw her.
She
in
was.
Legacy,
I'm seeing
but-
her stalking the aisles right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I love the location because it's not far from where I work,
Sure.
so I can just take.
Well,
the
it's not
metro
far
right
from a
here.
bunch of major cities. Baltimore, of course,
Yep.
DC area is big for Magic. Baltimore, Richmond, Philadelphia. You can take the train down from New York, as Mike did.
Yeah. Just a couple hours. I think it was like 3 hours. He
Yep.
said. So yeah, very.
So it looks like David's going to mulligan.
Todd looks very
Todd-
sad for David.
Well, he is strong sad on Twitter, strong_sad,
And on MTGO. Right?
and on MTGO. Yep, he is a nominee for the Community Cup. If you so choose, you can nominate Todd Anderson, who has done a lot for the community with his MTGO videos, his article series, and do with good finishes online. Or you can nominate anyone you so choose by going to the Community Cup page on Wizards of the Coast website. David's going to keep his 6.
Leads off with an Arid Mesa into, let's see, a Taiga. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine it's Taiga. See if this is the fast start he's looking for. Yep, Wild Nacatl is what we need. So definitely the 3 power over. I understand that this sounds completely asinine and and possibly just the most foolish thing ever, but especially against a deck like Maverick, where you get so quickly outclassed, the early damage that you get from that 1 extra power means that your opponent's at 6 instead of 8, or 4 instead of 6, and almost always means the game, because the margins in Zoo are so small against a deck like Maverick.
And Todd knows that, so he uses Path to
Immediately
Exile
paths it
on the Wild Nacatl.
on the Wild Nacatl, in spite of the fact that there are Tarmogoyfs and Knight of the Reliquaries in David's deck. There are bigger fish to fry, but at this moment, this is the only fish in town. I almost made a joke about how Todd Anderson's a fish, but I resisted. I resisted Todd.
So David Price now with a plateau.
Man, after watching Josh Ravitz and his foreign black bordered duels,
Yeah.
I just can't look at these white bordered ones the same way. I'm so spoiled.
Casali
there's-
Pride Mage for David Price.
Yep, and that's not really what he wants. That's just a 2/2 for 2, not very good.
Wasteland from Todd takes out the plateau
Yep.
and follows that up with a Noble Hierarch. I actually like white bordered duels because I think when I started playing, it was revised, and so that kind of, to me, duels in my memory are all white border because I didn't see a lot of black border duels. I saw a lot of white border duels.
Yep.
So for me, the nostalgia actually is part of the white border is part of the nostalgia. So Chain Lightning from
Yep.
David Price
Puts a sorcery in the bin.
takes care of the Noble Hierarch after, and then is able to get in for 3 here with the Casali Pride Mage. And
3
again,
damage.
another 3.
Yeah. Todd looks like he's got the Garrick in his
Tarmogoyf.
hand, among other things. Man, that Tarmogoyf is going to be. Looks like is it going to be difficult
Creature
to deal
instant sorcery land. It's a 4/5,
with?
right?
Is it a 4/5? Creature instant sorcery land. Man, and this Knight of the Reliquary is going to be a 5/5 though, should he so choose to cast it, which I believe he will. Do we know if David has a path in his hand?
We don't know. I haven't gotten a look at David's hand. He's been very
Very
secretive.
sheltered. Yeah. Todd's a lot better at letting the camera know what's up. Thanks, Todd. There we go. Wasteland.
There's a Wasteland and
Knight of the Reliquary. I see a red spell. Looks like a lightning bolt.
Looks like a bolt.
Jite
Jaws, Jite
and
has
Path.
There's
Jeez.
Path. So path
So,
that guy out of
yep.
the way,
Man.
and swing in
6.
for looks like 6 to me. Yeah.
Todd's going to go to 6 here.
And
Todd is in desperate need of swords to plowshares.
And we know, or we believe there's a bolt in Dave's hand.
Yes,
too.
so Todd is actually at 3 in real life. That is a Mother of Runes. So he can theoretically play this Garruk, fight with the Kazali Pride Mage, if he so chooses, and play out this Mother of Runes. But the Mother of Runes just gets bolted at that point, and would put Todd to 2.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's not where you really want to be if you're Todd. Yep, there's Garruk.
And
Garruk Relentless, Innistrad.
Innistrad. I say Innistrad.
You say Innistrad, I say Tomato.
That's
Mythic Rare. So, is it going to fight? Nope, he's just reading the back. 5 activated abilities and a triggered ability on Garruk Relentless. So we're going to fight with Kazali Pride Mage. That's going to resolve.
Pretty much as you suspected.
Now, that can definitely get... Oh, geez.
Now, did he say go?
Does he? Yeah, he said go.
That might be it.
That's probably game.
We'll see what Todd has here.
Unless he's just bluffing Tarmogoyf. Like, if Tarmogoyf attacks Garruk here...
Don't attack Garruk. Attack Todd.
Yeah, he's got to attack Todd, right?
Okay, so Todd's
going to go to 5.
Now,
does Todd have a sword? Swords? Is he going to make this Tarmogoyf a farmer?
Now that Windswept Heath does not fetch past
no,
path
it
to exile.
does not.
It looked like that was what he was going to grab.
He paused on that path to exile for a second.
Now note, Todd's paths are much better than David's because David runs no basic lands.
Yes.
And that was why...
Dryad Arbor.
Oh, okay.
Did not see that one.
No, I wasn't thinking about that either.
So he's going to block.
Dryad Arbor blocks. And...
now this bolt now has to take out this Garruk. Because if this Garruk starts making Death Touch Wolves, it's just going to be game.
Yeah. So bolt the Garruk. And
back
Todd
to Todd
survives another turn.
Yep. That was a line of play I did not expect. That's why he's playing and I'm commentating. So we got rid of
the plateau.
With
the wasteland.
And we're going to throw a couple of speed bumps in the way and hope they do it. And looks like they are so far. Taking down the mana base is going to work. This Mother Runes is going to be able to stand in front of this Tarmogoyf as long as it so chooses. What's the last card in Todd's hand? Did you see?
I did not see.
There's another land.
Windswept Heath from David Price.
Oh, it's a Cavern of Souls. So pro-green.
And yeah, pro-green Mother of Runes
this is
blocks
gonna be,
the Tarmogoyf.
This is going to be Jite from David Price. It's been in his hand the whole game.
Yep.
Burning a hole through its sleeve. Waiting to come into play.
I like that. Burning a hole through its sleeve. Very, very good. Very nice.
I came up with that just now. Is that actually
that's
good?
That's good.
I feel like that's actually terrible, but I'll stick with it.
Well, maybe it is, but I liked it.
There's Umezawa's Jite. Lots of lands. Fortunately, this Jite will not gain counters should he choose to... Oh, geez, that's a swords, isn't it?
I believe so.
Block, pro-green, swords to plowshares. Oh, no,
he doesn't have access to white.
Oh, he doesn't have access to white. Wow.
So, no swords for
There's
David
a knight,
Price.
and that's a big knight.
And again, David draws a white spell and not a white source.
Todd Anderson's plan of attacking the mana base, paying off.
Now, if David can just draw like land Shrapnel Blast.
Don't think he runs Shrapnel Blast. I'll check one more time.
How about
nope, no Shrapnel Blast.
Goblin Grenade? Tarmogoyf's Goblin-esque, right?
Ish.
Goblin-ish.
I think I've already said he's Simian Grunts. So he's actually a monkey.
Oh, okay. Another Mother of Runes in Todd Anderson's hand.
Possibly the second best creature type in Legacy, monkey. No. But yeah,
Might be Lurgoyf.
no,
don't think
it's probably humans. As you can see, Mother of Runes, Noble Hierarch, Knight of the
Yeah.
Reliquary, Snapcaster Mage, and other decks. But this one, also containing Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, which is a human. This Knight is at least an 8/8,
Huge Knight.
right? It's a 9/9, we're being told. No blocks from David. David's going to drop to 8. So many paths, so many knights in David's hands.
Well, Todd with all the wastelands, it
Yep.
seemed like.
And Todd is going to be able to give his knight protection from green and attack for the win here.
Pro-green on the Knight.
And that's the
Swing,
game.
and that's it. Wow, David Price so close.
Look at all those path exiles.
Wow. Todd Anderson does the math and finds a way to win.
So Todd Anderson's gonna make it to the top 8 of Star City Games Washington D.C., the legacy portion, defeating David Price 2 games to 1. Yep, there's